All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth, run the four corners of the earth. This is going to be an update on the Bitcoin situations that are changing in the world, dealing with the RFID microchip. Them moving, the world moving towards cryptocurrency, the world debt, right? You have American debt, then you have the world debt, all right, of unpaid bills around the world, and they're using all of this as a change, to change over, transition is a better word, into their new system to do away with the fiat currency or paper dollar. They're not going to do away with the dollar. I always say that they're not going to do away with the dollar. What they're going to do away with is the physical form of the dollar. See that America is going to keep its standing or as a currency dealing with the dollar, but it's going to lose its power in the world. It's going to lose its power in the SDR basket, the special drawing rights, and it's going to use this lose its form. They're going to transfer it into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, which you have the feds. I did a lesson years back. You can look it up, called Lions Den Fed Coin. Okay, Fed Coin, FED coin, and they're going to push for a Fed coin, something that's more federalized instead of just open to the people, where the people become the bankers, and you deal with your own personal ledgers. That's what's happening right now. People set up their own ledgers. They become their own bankers. They handle their own um, deposits and withdrawals, interest, and all that. Okay, you basically managing your own money, but the banks want you to give it to them. The Federal Reserve wants you to give it to them. All right. So there's a wrestling right now. Satan is divided against Satan. Okay, and they're also they're moving quickly towards this mark of the beast system and mark of the beast chip, because you have this whole pandemic that they have going on. All right, where they're forcing that worldwide, and people are getting there at a rapid rate. Now they're talking about a digital passport just for that, as they just unveiled in Israel today. They unveiled a digital passport. Now they're talking about bringing that to America. So it's clear that they're setting the whole system up in preparation for this one single chip. That's going to be the straw that breaks the camel back. But let's get into this topic a little bit. It says Yellen, all right, Janet Yellen, she was the old former Fed chairman, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. But now Biden just hired her again recently, so you're going to hear her a lot. So it says Yellen sounds warning about extremely inefficient Bitcoin. See, so you have they're manipulators, man, and that's illegal. What they're doing to the market, they're manipulating the market. They come out social media, speak against it, then the market crashes. Then they Elon Musk, he put Bitcoin on his Instagram. Next thing you know, the price goes up. But now recently he's going against it, and the price crashes. See that? So it went from 50,000 and it dropped down 30%. That's 50,300 something, I think, for one Bitcoin, and that's a lot. The dollar isn't even at that level. All right, so it surpassed the dollar, the physical dollar. So now they're going to try to transfer the dollar into cryptocurrency to where you have a digital dollar instead of a physical paper fiat currency floating money where you can hide it, stash it, and make hand-to-hand deals that the government will never know about, so they can never tax it. Now with the Bitcoin, you can do the same thing. You can do deals, and it has a ledger base, but they're like, yo, it's not being taxed. It's gaining interest. People is gaining interest. They have a lot of Bitcoin and becoming Bitcoin millionaires and thousandaires. And the Fed's like, yo, give me control of anybody's money. Remember that? And they don't have control of it. So they're trying to find a way to get control of it. So it says this key points. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Monday warned that Bitcoin is an extremely inefficient way to conduct monetary transactions. So she's speaking against it. See that they're trying to uh, basically demonize the Bitcoin. All right, they come out speak against it in the media. That lets you know they're ready to move towards something else, or they're taking control of it. She spoke as the cryptocurrency's price tumbled in morning trading, but remained above 53,000. Okay, so it's 53,000. Sheesh. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen issued a warning Monday about the dangers that Bitcoin poses to investors and to the public. The dangers she's talking about is what? Let's see. Despite, right, because you have basic investors, they're going to try to come for everybody. Everybody that's been investing in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and now they're trying to tax it. And everybody going to bail out. They're going to bail out. It says, despite a sharp slide in price to start the week, the cryptocurrency continues to trade above 53,000 as it has received boosts from various sources. Elon Musk, Tesla, recently made a substantial purchase and has said it will accept Bitcoin for transactions. Just like in Miami, they're talking about paying employees in Bitcoin now. So it's become a currency, almost a world currency. So it's another currency that's going against the dollar as a hedge of protection against the dollar, against the reserve currency. Just like gold and silver now. But it's not as protected as gold and silver is, okay? Bitcoin can Esau can break through and rob and steal and add taxes to it. All right, or they can shut down the electronic grid, or they can do an EMP, or force people to get the chip. You know, have them get the chip to be able to get to their money, their Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. All right, and when they transition from this fiat paper currency over to the cryptocurrency, eventually the dollar is going to lose a lot of value. So people that have thousands, hundreds of thousands, they're going to be they have millions, they're going to be have 100,000s. They have 100,000, they're going to be in the tens, like 50, 80, 90s. It's basically going to lose a major percentage of its purchasing power, especially against because they don't even have to devalue the currency. They can just cause hyperinflation, which is another way to devalue the currency at the register or at the shelf. So you go to the shelf and it has no purchasing power because the hyperinflation. All right. So either way, they're going to do away with that dollar, and they're trying to move it towards an electronic ledger-based system where they can track everything that moves, any transaction that happens. They can tax it, they can take your money, they can do whatever, and they want control of that. Because right now there's two systems operating: the electronic system and the paper system that's operating on the electronic market, which is the dollar. Okay, so it says, however, Yellen said there remain important questions about legitimacy and stability. They're trying to say it's not legitimate and it's not stable. It's not a real currency unless it. They're trying to say it's not legitimate unless it goes through the Federal Reserve and where it could be protected and shit. Nah, man. I don't think that Bitcoin is widely used as a transaction mechanism. She don't think so, but it is. She told CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin at a New York Times Deal Book conference, to the extent it is used, I fear it's often for illicit finance. It's an extremely inefficient way of conducting transactions, and the amount of energy that's consumed in processing those transactions is staggering. Basically saying she'd rather people go through the Federal Reserve instead of deal with Bitcoin themselves, when they're clearly making transactions around the world. But she's talking about more so the black market. You know, behind the scenes, there's a lot of black market deals going on, and drug deals or whatever you want to call it. It says mining Bitcoin requires users to solve complex mathematical equations using high-powered computer setups. The electric consumption used in the process leaves an annual carbon footprint equal to the nation of New Zealand, according to the Digiconomist. Oh my goodness. So she worrying about the damn carbon footprint. In addition to consumption concerns, Bitcoin also is considered to be a tool of those involved in a number of illegal activities because its use is difficult to trace. See, they're talking about the black market. Then there's volatility. Then there's volatility, as the cryptocurrency's price has seen rapid peaks and valleys during its existence. So it's basically climbing. It's becoming a currency. That's what happens when you have new currencies. All right, currency means something that's being in circulation. All right, that's what a currency is. A money that's in circulation. So crypto, this digital-based currency, it had it's like a roller coaster ride, because it was creating the bottom, creating the top, creating the bottom, creating the top, and it's wrestling against the dollar. It says it is a high speculative asset, and I think people who cares what she thinks. I think people should be aware it can be extremely volatile, and I do worry about potential losses that investors can suffer, Yellen said. So she's expecting a big crash in big cryptocurrency market. It's going to be a crash in both, because there has been points in time where the dollar and Bitcoin were up, and then when they went down together. So you just never know, man. All right. It says, I think it could result in faster, safer, and cheaper payments, which I think are important goals. So I'm just read it. The Federal Reserve, where Yellen once served as chair, has studied the issue and discussed the possibility of a new digital. This is everything I was saying. Let me read this again. Listen close, yeah. The Federal Reserve, see, Federal Reserve, owned by the elites, where Yellen, which she's just a puppet, once served as chair, has studied the issue and discussed the possibility of a new digital currency along with a payments system it expects to roll out over the next several years. So they mean this year. When they say next several years, they mean this year. All right. So they're trying to do away with Bitcoin and all these different Litecoins and all. You know, they want to start their own called FedCoin, and then they're gonna make all the other ones illegal. And then with that FedCoin, all right, to be able to place that on the market or to give it to people, they're gonna have the chip or they're gonna have it on your phone, just like a passport is gonna be on the phone. All right. So their whole thing is about setting up the system. So it's clear what you want to do right there. They want to start their own digital currency. See that's the whole plan, the whole game. Set up this digital currency so they can tag the chip to it. Then that's when you have the whole pandemic situation tying in. All right, this is Revelation 13 and 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. All right, so it's talking about the what? Actually, right here, Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake like as a dragon. So this is America pushing all the draconian rule and policies and paganism, all right, and idolatry and their money system and demonocracy, which started in Greece and went on to Roman Empire, and now they push it in America. That mindset, that governmental mindset. Um, so the two horns represent America, Democrats and Republicans, right? And he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him. So they exercising all the power at this point, as the Roman Empire did, you know, and cause of and NATO, and cause of the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So the deadly wound was healed on the Roman Empire. All right, around the 12th century, 1266 A.D. with the Ottoman Turks. So so America is causing all the world to submit to the Federal Reserve, the religious system, and the military. You know, that's what they're causing. They're causing everybody in America to submit to that system that's being pushed by the Europeans. Okay, my brother in this camp, Kanak, did a good lesson on it on his page about the three spirits that leaped out of the mouth of the frog. All right. Now Revelation 13. Uh, it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right, we know about that. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the nuclear age, where America started boosting the nuclear power infrastructure along with Russia. And when they brought down the missiles in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all right, big boy and little man, the first atom bombs, the first entry into the nuclear age, that's when America brought fire down from heaven in the sight of the world under the authority of Europe. 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So without Europe, America wouldn't be able to do what it's doing today. So it has power to do all these things because of the influence of Europe, the elites. I would call America the whore. It's a saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right, so basically they're constructing this whole Roman Empire again, and they trying to make a whole system that'll help to empower and enrich the Europeans again. They went from the dollar system that made Europe rich because they were impoverished when they came over here and stole the land from the Gadites. They became impoverished because they were what? Consumers. They were destroying their own land, just like they're destroying the world now in America. So now these Edomites over there in Europe, they got rich. All right, they're the rich man, the elites, the Illuminati, and now they're setting it up so they can stay the world power, and they want to create a new whore and call it China and do away with their old biddy, their old whore, and they want to get a new one and call it China. All right, but they want the currency to be based on cryptocurrency, and they want China's currency, the yuan, to lead the way in the basket of currency, the SDR. But the thing is, China and Russia, they're coming up with their own form of the SDR. They don't even need the SDR basket. So they're coming up with their own form of a digital basket where where all these nations can operate without dealing with the dollar. So that's a threat to Britain and Europe and England and their system. Just like over there with NATO, Russia and China is a threat to NATO. So they created their own form of NATO. You know, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So that's why it says the devil's coming down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time to rule and to make their moves, man. So they're coming in with this system. They have to pull away from the paper dollar system. That was the first world order. They're going into a new world order. All right. 1913, they had the dollar paid to the gold or to American dollar. Anyway, so now they're doing away with that. All right, creating it as the world currency in 1971, or back in about oil, I should say. And now they're doing away with that whole setup, and they want to bring in a digital currency. All right, Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and now this system and everything is speaking. All their rules and their policies and their draconian laws, lockdowns, right? Their court systems, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. And that goes with Revelations chapter 6. All right, Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So the main point I want to focus on is the image, all right, the system. So, and that's what they're setting up, this whole system that's going to be dedicated to the Europeans, man, to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve honors what? England, the Bank of England, and the Bank of England honors Britain, and so on and so on. All right, yeah, right here it says 1914. I said 1913, but 1 year ahead it says the first U.S. dollar, as it is known today, was printed in 1914 upon the creation of the Federal Reserve, which was made around 1913. Less than 6 decades later, the dollar Okay, yeah, kind of. So yeah, the dollar officially became the world's reserve currency. So 1914, and then all right. So 1913, the Federal Reserve System is born. By December 23rd, 1913, when President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law, it stood as a classic example of compromise. See, they compromise, right? A decentralized central bank that balanced, right? It's decentralized, meaning it's from another country, but it's operating here in America, and it's owned by a privately owned company family called the Rothschilds. All right, but it's centralized in D.C. or wherever it's located at, Virginia or D.C. But they got different Federal Reserve banks in every city, so it's centralized. All right. Um, it says stood as a classic. It stood as a classic example of compromise, a decentralized central bank that balanced the the, comp- the competing interests of private banks and populist sentiment. All right, so it basically brought America and Europe together. And mind you, Nathan Rothschild said, "What? Give me control of any nation's money, and I care not what you do with the laws." So they created the dollar system as a form of power, and now they're manipulating that power, where they're trying to move away from this dollar and move into this new cryptocurrency system, to where they can control it. All right, I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, "It's from news. If you joined the GameStop frenzy or dabbled in Bitcoin, get ready for the tax man." Oh shit. All right. Get ready for the tax man. My Robin my Robinhood tax form for 2020 is 374 pages. Day trading is fun, said one entrepreneur. Sheesh. It says tax experts in the IRS say taxpayers need to be aware of several unique issues with day trading stocks and cryptocurrency. So it's a trap. It's a trap to try to get people into it, and then they're gonna create like the hamster, guinea pig or whatever you call it. Not a hamster, and you put him in a maze in the trap, and you open one door and he leads them to another. You know, they put a dead end at this side. It was just an opening there. Now it's a dead end, and it makes you run to the. Now you turn around, and what used to be a dead end, now it's an opening. So what they're gonna do is the dollar. It pushed the pressure on the dollar that the Feds put on the dollar, well, allowed to be on the dollar, manipulating the system. Um, tweaking the interest rate up and down. That pressure caused people to run into a different currency and other investments. Market manipulators such as um, the what's the name, Tesla guy. He they help manipulate GameStop stocks with Robinhood. All right, just to show the market that they have power. They can get on the market and say anything, and the market will react to them. So it caused people to run into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a hedge or a safety against the dollar. But now the Feds are putting pressure on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which is going to cause people to run where? Nowhere. They have nowhere to run. They're going to go back into silver and gold. But before they do that, what's the Fed going to do? They're going to offer them something else. What's going to be Fed coin, man? They ain't going to wait no 4 years and all that. They're going to push that joint soon because they don't have that long. All right. So get ready for Fed coin and get ready for the threat of taxation by the IRS, which is supposed to be set up to protect the people. Instead, it's used as another threatening mechanism for their draconian rule. All right. It says, this is by Ben Popkin. Many first-time investors who jumped into 2020 bull run. Bull run represents the stock market going up, grazing um, upward like a bull, poking his horns up. But then you got a bear market, which is swinging downward, like swinging his arm down. You have a bear and a bull market. So they had a bull run. It says find themselves drowning in tax time paperwork, as could be any other newbies who joined this year's GameStop frenzy or Bitcoin bonanza for next year's tax return. Every time a trader sells a stock or a cryptocurrency, it counts as a taxable moment. See that? They want money. They want the taxes. They don't have the taxes, but they're taxing it. Because traders may move in and out of different stocks and coins several times a week or a day. They can be surprised when hundreds of pieces of paper arrive at their door. The IRS wants a peek at and may want a cut of all of it. They come for the money. The IRS ain't the IRS, it's England, man. England, Europe is the one that set up the IRS, right? Internal Revenue Service. It's why I want to peek at it. See, they make the IRS seem like a damn enforcer. But really, the IRS is set up as an accountant to handle the accounts of the people, the human person in the courts, and the straw man, and your birth certificate, and your accounts that are set up since the 1930s on your accounts that have millions and billions of dollars in it, man, or digital fractional reserve currencies already. Yikes. So, hey, man, they said the IRS wants to take a peek at it, and they want a cut of it. So they're moving towards this cryptocurrency, but they're setting the trap with it. All right. All right. So this is all set up for Revelations 13 to 16, leading to the mark of the beast. Isaiah 55 and 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, man. All right. That's why the scriptures say you'll know a prophet, because the things that he say, they'll come true. It's starting with Abba Bivens and Apostles, King Mashad, all the way down to Apostle Tahar and the sincere apostles under him. What and the sincere Akim that are teaching this truth and pushing and working hard every day, because their work matters. It don't matter if you just got into this truth. If you're pushing and you're sincere, that's all that matters. The scriptures say, "Let no man take your crown." So it's up to you. You push. You don't let nobody else decide your fate. You're gonna let them decide, or you gonna decide it. All right. But if you're sincere, then you represent the mouth of the Lord. Just because they grab a Bible and a garment don't make them sincere. Just because they call themselves an Israelite or a teacher or a prophet doesn't make them sincere. You judge every tree by the fruit that it bears. All right. And the Lord said his spirit is the spirit of truth, spirit of prophecy. So the word then went forth out of his mouth through the apostles, through Yahushua, through the prophets. And he warned us about this chip today, this system that they're trying to set up, this image. And what he said, they're going to do it. They're going to push the chip. That's one of the last signs before the Lord shows up. And whoever gets that chip, they're going to be destroyed in the judgment. So the judgment is like right around the corner. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. All right. So the Lord is bringing about his prophecies, man. So it's going to happen. They're going to push the chip. They're not going to get their new world order. They're going to get close to it. So we're right at the transition point. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.